Hey everyone, it's Brandon again, and here we are at Donington in the new British DLC for ACC, coming out that final corner, nothing too special there. Looking to the first corner now, we can go a little bit over the line on the left, and we're going to look towards that pit exit lane, and we're going to brake about halfway in that, maybe a tiny bit on the early side. Now for this first corner, you do want to brake late, and you want to have a late apex because you don't want to cross over the curb and go into the grass, because if you come back over the curb again, then the car will bounce around and you have a bad exit. But you do want to go deep into this corner, have late apex, use all the curb and use all the track onto the AstroTurf on the left. Again, don't go into the dirt because that'll give you a slower exit. Now we've got a little bit of time to prepare for the fast right-hander which is coming up. That'll be the next braking zone. On the left-hander here, keep it all the way to the left, giving us a nice line for the next corner. Braking in a straight line, we'll be braking just a touch before that board on the right, which is our braking reference. Using all the track again, almost all the way up to the curb on the left, then back to the right, using almost all of the AstroTurf on the right. But we don't want to go all the way up to the poles because it gets a bit bumpy there, and we'll have a similar issue as before with the bouncing around. We don't want that. Use all the exit road as well. You can possibly use a little bit of the dirt if you have to. I'd say keep it on the grippy stuff, that's best. All the way to the right, giving us a nice line for this left turn. We're going to give ourselves a nice straight braking zone here, braking a little bit after the braking board, or braking marker on the right, which is that board. You want to brake deep into this corner. Now I have another late apex. I mess it up here. I actually cut over the curb going onto the grass. This is what you really want to avoid, specifically on this corner, because it's a real problem. When you come back over the curb again, you'll get flicked up. I luckily get away with it here somehow, but I'd say brake a tiny bit later than I did here, have a later apex, use all the curb. Don't go over the curb because it gets a bit bumpy. Over here, don't go too wide onto the AstroTurf because I noticed the rear gets a bit loose and it's easy to spin there if you go too wide. This corner doesn't have any strong reference points for braking, unfortunately, but if the track's rubbered in, there's a bit of rubber on the track you can use, and then there's actually an orange mark on the fence which you can also use as a reference point. And if you get look a little bit closer, there's a patch of rubber on the curb right there, which is exactly along the braking point that I use, and I think if the track's rubbered in, you could probably use that, but overall, not very many strong reference points. For this corner, you can cut a lot of this curb, go mostly over the AstroTurf. You could possibly use just a tiny bit more than it, but again, we might have a similar issue with the bouncing around. Here, this corner reminds me a little bit of the final corner of Monza. If you're carrying enough speed, you can use all the track. If you have the grip, take a narrower line. It just depends on how you've taken the corner at that time. And here we go, coming up to the chicane. This corner you have to be extremely precise on. Going to brake just as the track starts going downhill after this board on the right, actually about halfway between these two boards. And now you want to keep this chicane as straight as possible. You can't touch that, you can't hit that black tire thing there. You can possibly just skim it very lightly. But I'd say, yeah, try avoid that at all costs. And then on the exit, you can cut a lot of this. You can go almost touch the sand without getting an invalidation. Cut as much of that as you can, straighten it up. And here we go to the final two corners. Kind of basic corners, but they're very, very vital for lap time. Brake a little bit after this board on the left. And then we're going to be hard on the brakes to the hairpin. Trail braking as well. Don't accelerate too early because you'll go wide. Patient, let the car grip up. Get the car straightened up a bit. Traction control might kick in a little bit, but there you go, you're on your way to the final corner. Now here we also don't have many strong reference points for braking, but I noticed the track dips down just a tiny bit where the braking point is, so if you can feel that, brake as the car hits that bump or dip in the track. And here we go, keep tight on this final corner, let the car grip up again, and as you can feel it's gripping up, that's when you put the throttle down, have a nice clean exit. And that was a 26.5. I think I could go a bit faster than that, a few tenths. This is just on the default setup, by the way. With a couple adjustments like tire pressures to match the conditions, and I just put the brake pads down to 1. Yeah, I did do a quicker lap, but it was a little bit messier. It wasn't as smooth. I like to do smooth laps for these lap guides, so I still think the lap was good. I'll let you guys watch this lap without me talking. I'll see you very shortly. Stick around for a pit entry guide at the end of this lap, and a couple other bits of information. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the pit entry, which is actually very easy. Take the final corner as per normal, and you'll see a little bend on the white line on the left there, right there. And you brake just alongside that, and that should be perfect for a braking point. Coming into the pits, you'll see 50k per hour right on the line, just like that. I just wanted to come back to the chicane real quick because it's one of the most important corners of the course for lap time. First, I'm going to show an ideal line. I've carried as much speed as I can through the corner, keeping the corner as straight as possible with as little turning input as possible. Second, I'm going to show a line where I've turned too early, which means I have to turn more and exit so I don't cut the corner. That's a bit slower. Another scenario is where I've waited too long to turn in, so I've squared up the corner a little bit more, which means I have to turn more and I've slowed down too much. There they all are together. You can see the green line sits in the middle. It's nice and smooth. That's your fastest line through the corner. It'll take practice, but it's a very important corner to get right. So to end this video off, I think I need to talk about something quite important. For those of you who have followed this channel for quite a while now, you're probably aware that there's not been very many videos for quite a long time now. And there's a couple reasons for that. You also probably know that there's two people that run this channel. There's me, Brandon, and there's also Hayden. Hayden doesn't get to spend a lot of time on the channel because he has a very busy schedule. And for me, I have not been feeling all that great for quite a while now. And especially in the last couple months with sim racing, I haven't been enjoying it as much. And I've been finding it more and more difficult to keep up with it. So I do think I need to step back a little bit. I am not going to continue with the OOR league that I had started this year. I'm going to step back a little bit. I don't want to say that this is a complete step back from league racing and sim racing completely. I'm still going to be doing lap guides where necessary, and I just want to find something that I enjoy making for content. And Hayden will too when he gets his time. Like I said, he's very busy at the moment. He doesn't get a lot of time to spend on here. We'll still be doing our iRacing endurance races this year. I think that'll be quite nice for us, something quite fun. They're not overly intensive. They're quite relaxing, honestly. I quite enjoy the endurance races. But I think I do need to step back a little bit from sim racing. I'll keep looking for things, better ideas that I enjoy doing more. But I really do want to give a big thank you for everyone's support on these lap guides. We've hit, I think, 17,500 subscribers, and in the last, half year to a year, there's been barely any uploads, and the way this thing just keeps climbing, it surprises me. So thank you all for the support. Really do appreciate it. And this channel is going to keep going, there's no doubt about it. I think we just need some time to think about things and come back a bit stronger. I'm going to be back probably within the next few days doing Oulton Park and Snetterton for those lap guides, and who knows, maybe a couple other videos with the new content. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.